Ooh.
See? Thanks, Wanda. You know why Wanda, right? So the German name Wanda and Windel are both male and female versions of the same name. It means to wander, usually aimlessly.
Wander aimlessly sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you two might be interested in this. I'm getting a demo unit of some ridiculous new Wi-Fi AP that so that maybe we'll stop having to reboot the router every day. And they were like, oh yeah, it has this and all these kinds of things. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. And they're like, you want a demo unit? Do you have some place where you can test it? And I'm like, I sure do. Let me take it to the Joe lab. And they're like, how much traffic do you see? And I'm like, let me just bring up the stats on the router. So this is for September, of which we are in day 3. Downloads, 44 gigs.
Don said dang, but I was muted, so you didn't get to hear that
It was
in real
like
time.
this. Dang.
And they were like, okay, well, we'll send you like the upgraded one. And I'm like, yeah. Okay. Why do you feel attacked? Baby, probably at least 3/4 of that was me watching Twin Star Exorcists over the last few days.
Yeah, look at Allie's short and then look at the chat.
Anyway, so Fallon, who's Fallon? I know who Fallon is. I know his name. This is wrong map. I love that default token right there. Just kind of. Let me update my notes.
So, Joe, do we have some goals or guidance for today, or how can you help or be part of the solution?
I think we have to hoodwink Dawn into finally picking a day in class.
That wouldn't hurt.
I tried a virtual shoot earlier. Maybe we need a real shoot.
Yeah. So he's playing with the idea, I don't know how seriously, but I kind of liked it, of working at 2 level 1 characters and seeing which one survives.
In a different game.
I mean, you can do that, but I promise you the answer will be 0.
That actually was my prediction.
Yes,
I'm just going to say, I was like, so you're gonna give Joe the option of killing a character. He's gonna kill both, and we're gonna be collateral damage.
It's like,
So, there's another game system that I've been reading about.
it's like I can't pass an opportunity like that up. Are you kidding me?
Guys, breaking news, Texas judge is blocking the abortion ban right now.
Yeah. So another game system that I read about, the everybody rolls up like 3 0-level characters, and they go through what's called the funnel. And if any of your characters survive, that's your first level character, and if multiple, you get to pick from them. But it's very random. Your background is random. Your equipment's random. Yeah, but they call it either the funnel or the grinder. But whoever makes it through of your characters is the ones you keep playing with after that, if any of them actually survive.
That's funny.
That's what he was going for. But I was like, you can't give Joe the invitation to kill at least one of your characters.
Like, well, we're gonna see which one survives. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So that means that just understand that the amount of work that I have to put into preparing for both of those characters to make it means it's just
Yes,
easier
yes,
for me to
that's
kill
why
both of them.
Don is
Yeah.
saying yes, yes. That's why he wasn't actually seriously doing it. But I thought we could like maybe we could talk through like which one we would rather kill, and he would have an idea.
So, who all is playing what? I'm playing a barbarian
Fighter.
fighter.
Chris, your character is Varuk.
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 Veruca from the
Yes,
Taro-
Veruca Salt. Absolutely.
Already session 0.7. We've already figured out something for your character's name. Okay, so we have barbarian fighter Lisa.
I am a gnome and known artificer.
Ooh. Mom is playing a bard or a cleric, something like that.
I'll tell you the next character that's going to die. I'm just going to go ahead and just make this statement is going to be Owens because he's given me a goddamn unpronounceable name. Iggy. I'm just going to call him Iggy.
Yep. Iggy Pop.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's like, dude, I appreciate you come up with whatever name you're going to give, but just understand that if I see an apostrophe in your name somewhere, I'm probably going to stop at the apostrophe.
How do you pronounce Martian Manhunter's secret identity?
John Jones?
Not John Jones?
Nope. It's
That's-
John Jones.
Well, there's John Jones is his human one, but his Martian one is John Jones, and there's Magan Maors.
Let's see, what's your character's name?
Mine doesn't have an apostrophe in it.
Oh, he'll find a different reason.
It's named after my character's named after an angel. Like I went through the list of angel names and picked one.
I mean,
Remy-
Metatron was right there.
Well, I wanted Sandalphon's also the angel of unborn children, and it worked with my character's backstory, so that's why I picked that one.
You get to live.
Remiel was the angel of purgatory and redemption, and it worked with Remiel's like idea that she could forgive herself to become paladin.
Sandalphon, right? And that's
Yeah, goes by Dal for Dalfy. Not a big fan of Sandy. Like, nah, I'm good.
so I'm making a note here. Totally find an NPC to call this character Sandy. With an I. The I will be implied. It'll be Sandi with a little heart over it.
Oh goodness.
It'll be like, oh, look, it's Sandy.
There's also phony. Phony could also happen. heck? Even Andy.
Hold on, while we're going down through this, I know, Lisa, I know I need to get pronouns from everybody except Laura's character. Laura's character's pronouns, I know.
I'm a she, her, not just because this is my work and the way it comes up, but in the game as well.
I know I said previously Sandalphon's was they, them, but they're just going to go by all pronouns, any and all.
Just whatever.
Yeah, but if you use she, her too often, she will hit you. They'll just hit you. They'll be like, you get 5 a day. That's it.
I have a name. You could just call me by my name. At one point, we'll get to the "you never even called me by my name" stage.
Love that song.
Really? Because I was like, call me by my name. I was thinking straight to the hell. But
By my name. What's your favorite version of that song? Steve Goodman or David Allan Coe or Leanne Rimes?
There's only one version of that song.
I heard Earl Campbell sing it at the Broken Spoke.
Nope.
Okay, Steve Goodman wrote the song.
That's saying something.
Lil Nas.
Little Nas did a version of "You Never Even Call Me." Oh, yeah. Okay, Joe, what's the only version of "You Never Even Call Me"?
David Allan Coe.
Well, Steve Goodman wrote the song.
Doesn't matter. He wrote the song for David Allan Coe. That little story he tells in the middle of it is true.
Oh yeah.
I've seen David Allan Coe perform that song.
It's really good.
I mean, I was a DJ at a country station for several years, so yeah.
I love "You Never Even Call Me by." What just happened? Oh, my computer went to dark mode because the sun went down.
Okay. Your modeling
Falkor,
blazing?
what's your character's
Oh,
pronoun?
it was in the sun, wasn't it? Yeah, the heat index today was 100 and fuck you. So
That's solid.
Yeah, when we were outside checking out my new car, it was 106.
yeah.
A new car. Woohoo!
Subaru.
Yeah.
Got the lesbian special. He definitely got the lesbian soccer mom special.
I
Wow.
love it.
Wow.
That is a Forester.
That's right.
The Outback, totally sweet, manly.
Which I do have some questions for people, and I'm going to have to message them because some of these are things.
Topher, what's your character's pronouns? He's just won't respond to Topher. Chris, what is your character's pronouns?
Hey, it.
What did you say?
Hey, it, dude. What's up, man?
I had a person in my linear algebra class who went around and
Just
said
bro.
pronouns, and he said dude bro, but then he couldn't remember the word he, and it was kind of funny because he was just like, he could not remember the word he. So we're just looking at him like
What's that?
is he playing with the X-Men miniatures? No, not the X-Men miniatures, the X-Wing miniatures.
No, I think he's playing with Pokemon cards now, aren't you, Logan? Yep.
Also, I got a new pack.
Yeah, we got him a new pack today.
Mm.
And also, I got the next version of Puffin.
Yep. Coughing.
Robert is Croesus. When I wrote all these character notes, I was in Joaquin, so I didn't have ready access to Roll20, and I'm just like, I'm just going to use real names and go back and fill them in.
Yeah.
However, it was good not being distracted by stuff that I actually like was able to go through the module and come up with some neat ways to involve your backstories. Yeah, that's the word I'm going with.
I am typing that backstory up right now. So yeah. I am apparently from the hills of Krog on the banks of the River Mar, in a little known gnome tribe. There you go. You need
a little gnome tribe.
A little gnome tribe.
a little gnome tribe.
Oh.
We're horrible. We're just really bad. I love all of us so much.
So really what this is mostly about is, you know, I don't expect backstory to be done. If you're getting close to it.
What do we need to tell you for backstory written up?
Your backstory.
Okay. I definitely need a little bit more instruction because yeah. Like where we're from, things like that.
What you doing?
What you doing?
Why you're in Iceland Dale if you weren't born there.
Mhm. Okay.
How do you feel about our mistress of the lovely cold air that we love so much, Arl the Frost Maiden?
If it might help you, Mom and I have been doing this. There's a guy on YouTube. He goes by Jordan, but it's Jorphdan. The PH is silent. So, but that's how you look it up, Jorphdan. I think he might have a PhD for all I know, but he does a lot of really cool history videos and race videos and such on Faerun, which is the world that we're in on this thing. And so Mom and I have been watching a bunch of those just to kind of more familiarize ourselves with a bit of the history and the different races and the different human clans and like where halflings came from and all that kind of stuff, just to kind of help develop a bit of a more of a backstory on where our people have come from.
Cool.
So if you have, I mean, you know who Remiel and them are, and you know kind of what you want. But if you want to just learn a little bit more about Faerun and go, oh, well, maybe this is where they set their thing up, and just give you a better idea of the world.
Dad, just so you know, you're really muffled. You sound like you're underwater.
I know. I think it's Mom's mic. I don't know if she has something audio turned on, but when we were on the meeting earlier, she would start out kind of muffled, and then it would pick up.
You sound good.
It's a very directional mic.
Yeah, you have to be right here.
I've let Don know it's a very directional mic. He did not believe me the other day when he was talking off camera and no one could hear him. He believes people can hear him wherever he is.
But it's I thought they were a fun thing to watch to get a better idea of that world, because that world's been around forever, but I really didn't know a whole lot about it. So he's a good video to watch. But it could be just something as general as you had a vision that this is a bad thing happening and you want to go help, stop, or find out what's going on. That's it.
And for instance, I found a video, or Don found a video more accurately. I watched a video on the city I was supposed to be from that Joe picked after I told him kind of what I was thinking about.
Oh, yeah. I definitely don't know where the cult is located, but I think Owen might know where that is.
Veruca. How long have you been in Bryn Shandar?
Probably like half a day.
Half a day. What have you been doing that half a day?
I ate at a tavern, and then I went to I asked about the job boards, and then that's when Robert's character saw me just like staring at it puzzlingly, going, "What do?"
Words are hard.
What words?
Oh man, that moment when you can't read your own handwriting.
Yo there, Carlisle. You know what's probably on that job board? A job posting from me.
I mean, probably, but I probably can't read it.
Okay.
I can technically read and write, but not very well. I'm not like grog level, not with the words, but
Yeah.
let's just say int is my dump stat.
What? Int was your dump stat?
Yeah.
Oh, Don is saying that that's why we need to make int not the dump stat and have it actually tag on to some of your proficiencies.
No, screw that. Some characters are dumb.
My character is dumb,
I
but
mean-
in a different way.
Charisma or wisdom could have just as easily been one of my dump stats, but I chose int instead.
So for a proficiency choice between history and religion, what do people recommend?
In your case, history.
Yeah, history's always good. Religion is so very specific.
Yeah.
What's the thing called where like people live like on a farm together and it might be a cult?
Commune?
Commune.
A cult.
Or a kibbutz if you're in Israel.
Yeah.
Uncle Teddy's Fun House. I don't know. Young Donald.
Yes.
That me? Am I young Donald?
No.
No.
I was called Donnie by my grandmother one time. Like she used the wrong name. She used dad's name for me.
Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
I am the Don 2000.
I am the Donbot. Thank you for playing Donbot.
I think she's got kind of like Vaseline filter to take away the wrinkles on this camera. This is pretty cool. I look younger.
Right?
I think I do have the lipstick. You also
Oh
look
yeah,
like you
it's a
have
lipstick
some.
filter.
I was like, you have some fabulous lip gloss. I was gonna
So-
say. Sorry.
I love you so much.
I do.
I do.
So- So
I'm like, what is going on?
is
Yes, sir.
is Fallon at this point, is Fallon going to keep his shall we say, religious and spiritual things that we have discussed? You are so not helping.
I told you I'm not ready. I said every day this week I posted in the chat that I was not ready. So this is not a surprise to anybody.
You better get ready. I've already
I
arranged.
had a rough week.
I've already arranged with one of your family members to throw an actual shoe at you instead of a virtual shoe.
That's fine. That's fine. It's weird. I'm flipped. My part looks like it's on the wrong side. I don't know what to do with this. Lip gloss, parts on the wrong side. Lisa, what am I going to do with myself?
I'm just thinking start singing to ladies because you are definitely in the right. Welcome in. Hey Joe, I'm about to send you a message because it has to do with my secret. I want to keep my secret, but ever so slightly change it. So 1 second.
Okay.
Why can't I pick
People
a beard?
acting like they get to choose their secrets and shit.
Why do I have to choose?
Okay, to be fair, the first secret you gave me, we both
Was
agreed-
terrible. It was
Yeah.
awful.
we
It
were
was
like,
so bad.
it was so bad. We both were like, no, no,
Mm.
no. It like
So-
passed like trigger warning I didn't realize I had. Like
So Joe, I'm 60-70% sure I want to take that character as you and I discussed because I really like the idea. But Dawn is having a tough time not having a true wizard in the party.
I get it.
Deal with it.
No, and I might just deal with it, and it might just be the thing, or I might go, no, I want to enjoy the game, and that's the way I enjoy the game. And I don't think the Dungeon Master has a care whichever one I pick. I just need to pick one so he knows how to move forward.
I'm less concerned with what class you're going to choose and more concerned with like your backstory.
The backstory probably won't be very different. You know what's funny is when I went and looked up like arcane groups in Faerun, like almost all of them are evil. If they have a name, they have an evil background. And
Sorry,
so
say
I
that.
was-
Start that sentence again.
So, like, I was looking for something like the equivalent of the Tower of High Sorcery in Dragonlance, like a school that you're coming up, and then maybe you're sent out, or you've gotten to the point where you've passed your apprenticeship, and now it's time to go out in the world and gain some experience. And so I start Googling magic guilds or whatever in Faerun, and it's thing like the Arcane Brotherhood. Oh, that sounds good. Nope, all evil. Fey Wizards. Yeah, I know they're all evil. There's not a whole lot of like the Harpers, but that's almost cliche.
Arcane
Yeah, there's
Brotherhood's not 100% evil, but they're definitely like more.
You're
evil
definitely
than-
wearing some red cloaks. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
There's not a white cloak in the house in that place.
Yeah. So, I actually took my stats, my natural rolled stats, and started to build a wizard with the same rolls, and just to see what I thought. And I was looking at different schools. The school of, is it Warcraft? What book is that from?
Oh, the War Wizard.
Yeah,
that-
War Wizard.
Not Tasha's, but
Maybe
Xanathar's,
Skag
I
or
think.
something.
uh,
Either way, I had never read that one before, and it's kind of abjurational, but on the attack mode rather than abjurational on the defense mode. And I thought that was, that kind of still plays into my gestalt of how a wizard plays. So I'm seriously thinking that, but I really like the character I wrote for the religious guy who things didn't work out all that well for, or at least not initially. So I'm just still kind of trying to figure out where I want to land on that. Not helpful. I'm sorry.
nope.
But I really need to turn this filter off because it's really bugging me. Laura, it says none. There's got to be something else. It's not a filter. It must be called something else. Oh, okay. I'm not going to mess with it. I'll just leave it alone and look all pretty for everybody. There we go. I like that better. So yeah, Ali, Darren just said they're definitely coming down. They're going to come down Saturday to Sunday. I don't think because of the cat they're going to leave late. So I might tell Mom we might push our departure to meet at Ging's at 3 instead of 2 or something like that, and that gets them on the road. Or they could join us for a little bit.
Yeah, I
Hang
probably
out.
will come down tomorrow around 2:30. Leave around 2:30.
Okay.
I have something I have to pick up at 2.
Yeah, I
So-
heard you telling Mom early. That works. But your room's in good condition. This room's not too bad a condition. It's good enough for Julie and Darren. So I got a Raspberry Pi. Did I tell this group this already? No. I got a Raspberry Pi. I'm going to make a ad blocker DNS server for the home network and see what I think. I've been wanting to do it for a while.
Why don't you just use microblock?
Because I want to do it whole home, so it blocks everything and not just. I don't want to load it per computer. I like the idea. No, but I'll take some beers. Oh, that's very good. So it's funny when you go out to all these Faerun data sites, they are obviously hosted on the equivalent of GeoCities, and it's just ad on top of ad on top of ad with banner ads. And I kind of want to see what it looks like after I turn this thing on. If it's just a bunch of blank spots around the edges, which sounds perfect. But I figure it was about $100, and I got a nice one. I wanted one with a lot of RAM because I got and it came with a gig port built in, so it should be able to handle all of our throughput. It'll be wired. And almost everybody else in this house uses the network wireless, so it should never be the choke point. And we'll just see how it behaves. But Joe, I think either way, on the backstory for my character, he will have been there for a while.
Right.
I don't know how much money I get to start. I'm assuming it's just kind of the basic. But if I'm, sleeping on the end floor at night, after everybody goes to bed and whatnot, or if I have enough money in my back pocket to do other things,
What are you
or
playing?
you get a decent room. What?
Are you playing a gutter snipe? What's going on?
No, I don't ever remember how much they start with. And the beauty of a wizard, anyways, a lot of times you don't have to buy armor, which tends to be expensive. So.
Oh, full
So
out.
the only reason
Nobody's
Don-
starting with full plate. Yeah.
right
No.
the only reason is because the background that we had discussed where you had we'll say a religious affinity sort of.
Yep.
Because you specifically asked about finding a church.
Yep.
And there's some information that I was going to give you about that if that was still going to be part of your thing.
Okay, I'll let you know. The only reason I say about finding a church is I think narratively for the one character, he would definitely have the acolyte background, and part of that background just means when you go somewhere, if there is a church, you can, ask for help or succor or stuff like that. I'm not necessarily traveling to go find a church. That's just one of the things that the acolyte background gets you is I think if you belong to a recognized member of a church, when you go somewhere, other churches, or at least at the same pantheon, will offer you aid or whatnot. Maybe better deals for healing potions and stuff like that. I'm not on a quest to find a specific church or looking for a church there per se.
Right.
And yeah. But for that character, no, he would have been in. He's very devout and would have been in the church as a acolyte, whatever, deacon, lay person trying to actually get into the vestry as part of his background. Yeah, I will pledge to get you information this weekend. So if we want to play next week and actually do a session 1, you and I will be ready to go.
We are totally doing session 1 next Friday.
Is everybody okay? Cool. I hadn't seen anything about that. That's awesome.
I mean, it's even on the page when you go to, I mean, if you had logged into Roll20 in the last few days, you would.
I have not. This is, like I said, this has been a week.
I know,
This has been 2 weeks in a week.
Dude, I get it. I'm just messing with you.
Okay. Now, part of what I need to do in Roll20 this weekend is get all my little tools updated because I've been the Discord that manages that has put out like 3 versions of their stuff over the last week, and I'm like, I will just let that calm down and then update. All right, I can't look at myself on the screen anymore.
It's really
He's so pretty. Now he knows my secrets, though.
goodness gracious. Donna, hello Donna.
Don, you just have naturally red lips. I don't know what you're
I
saying.
do. Those were glossy.
And he was going to go in and change it and turn it off. And then I'd go into work on Tuesday and people be like, oh, scary Laura. I told my friend at work that I would tell her how the AISD meeting went by the size of my drink. It's not that bad. It's a pretty good size.
Joe, I've sent to you my backstory in Facebook.
I got it.
Yeah, after the first paragraph, you see it changed from kind of a formalish writing style to very conversational.
Yes. I did. Just so everyone, Allie and I were talking about her secret. Her secret was so bad. Her first secret was so bad. We were both like, mm-mm. And then her second secret was also so bad. I had to go find a custom secret.
Oh, that's not even, you didn't even show me the second one. You just showed me the one you came up with.
The second one was like,
no. We should go ahead and, can we go ahead and tell them what my first secret was?
oh yeah, because no one will get that secret. I can just tell you right now, no one will get that secret.
It made us so uncomfortable.
We were both kind of like,
Oh my god.
It was that was it like a ship? Oh,
Pirate Cannibal was the
yeah,
was the
Pirate
name of the
Cannibal was what it was. Oh yeah, Pirate Cannibal.
Secretly a pirate cannibal?
I served aboard the Dark Duchess, a pirate ship from the city of Luxon. After the vessel got stuck in the ice, everyone but the captain abandoned the vessel and fled to Tin Towers. We got lost in the blizzard along the way. I was the only one who made it, and only by eating my mates. The ship and treasure are still out there.
It'd been awesome if you were a lizard man. You'd been like, yeah.
Yeah, we were both like, no cannibal, please. No.
I mean, they're all right, but not my favorite music group by any means. I saw that reaction, Chris. Thank you.
Like
Fine,
no
young
one
cannibal.
else? Does she drive you crazy? And
Drives me crazy. Mhm.
I know I can't help myself.
But do good girls listen to it? I'm asking for a friend. I could throw obscure song titles. Robert to get that because
Yeah.
Robert's a good friend and he has listened to Church's new album.
I have not. So I will.
I will say this because I think of you guys often whenever Lauren Mayberry does things like this. So the song "Good Girls" is like it starts off with the line, "Killing your idols is such a chore and it's such a fucking bore because we don't need them anymore." And she wrote that line listening to 2 women talk about, as she put it, a problematic male artist. I'm going to guess, I don't know, anybody in rap. And the like mental gymnastics they were going through to continue supporting this guy. And she was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then she kind of realized everybody has idols that if you don't examine them and realize that maybe it's time to kill your idols. But it also has the line, I never had a taste for liars or the uniquely uninspired because I don't need to be desired. And she said, she in the one of the like 2 live things that they did, they usually talk a lot between songs. Anyway, she goes, I have it on good authority that there was a person on the internet who called this song feminist garbage. And she said, and all I have to say to that is one man's feminist garbage is one woman's feminist treasure. And that's when she goes into the song. And so there are 2 songs on the album that are very much in that. She said, he said, she said is the, she said, he said, she said is the way she is, and Good Girls is the way she wants to be. Because he said, she said is all about the messages that women get to be a certain way and how it's conflicting and makes you insane. I mean, the chorus over and over is, I feel like I'm losing my mind. And she says, and Good Girls is like how I want to be, fuck that, fuck this, and fuck you. It's a really good album. That's all I'm gonna say. Nobody understands it. Shannon listens to him because I listen to him. Right, babe?
Ellie heard you talking about Good Girls and she wants to know what's up.
Huh?
I said, Ellie heard you talking about Good Girls and she wants to know what's up. She's a good girl. I'm a very good girl.
Good Girls. What is it? Good Girls don't lie. Good girls testify, but I won't. Good girls stay alive. Good girls don't die. Good girls satisfy, but I won't. That's the chorus.
Well, I mean, Ellie has like 3 out of 5 of those. Just saying. She's an incredibly good girl. Okay, I'm gonna keep writing. I just wanted to show you off because you are a good girl. Yeah? Yeah? This is my life, guys. I live with a dog all by myself.
You can live in there with a dog. Where's Fuzzlebutt? I said, speaking of living with a dog, where's Fuzzlebutt? AKA Sir Flopsabutt. Oh my goodness, it's a Robert.
Yay, Robert.
Hola, how's it going?
It's going good, sir. By yourself.
Just packing a suitcase.
Are you making a list and checking it twice?
No, but I should be. The list is in my brain. My brain keeps dumping information and making room for new information.
That's what happens when you run out of neurons.
Yeah, the garbage collector is in full force right now.
There's a Robert.
Hola.
I got back from the restroom.
I'm gonna have to get some little tabs on this book.
Robert, what are you playing?
I am a dragonborn
Mm-hmm.
with sorceress powers.
Cool.
Yes, it will be fun. It's kind of weird because my AC is 12, and that just makes me feel incredibly vulnerable. But I'm just gonna trust the rest of the party.
Yeah, that's what my AC is.
What have you decided to play this time?
I'm a barbarian, a Scourge Azamar barbarian.
Ah, barbarian. Well, but like barbarians with 12 AC they're barbarians.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, like being dragonborn means I got a little bit extra HP, but it's still a thing.
Yeah.
I think I have 18, I think.
Yeah, I'm just wearing cloth and there's nothing I can do about it. Like
Where are you going?
there's no way to like wear other armor.
Robert, where are you going?
I am going to New Jersey for my eldest cousin's wedding.
Yeah, how are they doing with the, flooding and most of the state not having the infrastructure to maintain right now?
I have absolutely no idea. My plan is to get on a plane tomorrow and then discover the situation I happen to be in.
Okay, I mean, you may want to check in first and be like, do y'all need
Yeah.
stuff?
Toilet paper, pack toilet paper.
Maybe I haven't heard anything from family about it yet. But I suppose checking in is only, prudent. Why be
Allie,
as ambitious?
Jay and the twins are okay. They checked in.
Thank goodness.
Just to let you know in case you were worried.
Yeah. I didn't put two and two together New Jersey yet, but yeah.
No worries.
I actually hadn't heard anything about New Jersey flooding until you mentioned it now, but I know that there's been a lot of weather related stuff from Ida. So I guess that doesn't surprise me.
New Jersey and New York, whose infrastructure is not really made for the weather they received, they're not doing too well. They're not doing
Well,
well at all.
we know exactly what that's like, having weather your infrastructure is not built for.
Indeed, we do.
What? Glass house.
I don't know if it was on TikTok and on Twitter, was just these people sending all kinds of images from the north, specifically New York and New Jersey, but New England, of the after effects and things like the new.
Wow.
Oh, bro, you should really check out that New Jersey airport, because one of them was like the bottom floor was completely flooded.
Well, luckily for us, we're flying into Philly tomorrow and then driving in, and by lucky, I mean, it sounds like we're even worse off. So we're flying into Philly and then this will be interesting.
You definitely might want to do a little bit of research and a little bit of call and a little bit of just
Yep. Well, I'm traveling there with my parents. I'll check in with them to see if they've done any due diligence about it. Because they are renting a car and driving us there. Yeah, it would be a shame to like fly up there and then get stranded and not be able to make the wedding. Well, assuming that it goes well, hopefully it'll be a fun event. It should be relatively small. It's at a family member's house. So I'm hoping that I don't catch COVID flying in an airport.
So double mask at the airport. Do you have a connecting flight?
We have a connecting flight. No, well, okay. So we have a stop, but we do not deplane. So
The airplanes actually have a better air filtration system than anywhere else
yes,
you'll be. So you'll be fine on the airplane. I did a connecting flight through Tampa,
yep.
and I will say it had to get off and get back on the plane, and the flight attendants read us the riot act about masking and keeping our mask on the plane the whole time, and they would throw us off the plane if we did it. They give us instructions like, I see you drinking your drink and you drink more than 3 sips in a row, I'm going to ask you to put your mask back on. And that was not the same level of instruction that we got leaving Austin. So definitely I think flight attendants are aware of Florida and Austin. But the flight attendants do not want you to get COVID. They do not want to get COVID. And
No, because
they were giving very good instructions. It was in the airport that itself, and flying out of Austin is not a bad thing. Austin people are by and large more conscious of masking. We flew into Rhode Island. They are also very good about conscious masking. So
well, that's good to know. I went ahead and bought a bunch of the K95 masks just for this trip, just to give ourselves the best case for protection. And I don't really know what else I can do other than not fly on an airplane in an airport. My mom just responded to me though, and she said that they've heard about the weather and we've asked our local family for advice and have not heard back yet. But they have said that Newark's baggage flooded, which is what you were just talking about, which is the airport in New Jersey. So we're flying into Philly, but Chelsea and I are flying out of New Jersey because we are leaving on a separate airline to come back a day early. But we don't come back. We won't fly out of the airport until Monday. So I assume 3 days from now it should be okay. But you never know.
Hey, Chris, Mr. Carlisle, I do not see you logged into the Roll20s. Could you please roll into the Roll20s so that I can send you a message through the Roll20s?
Someone getting their secret.
No,
I think I already have mine.
Chris already has a secret. Maybe more
You
than one.
secretly know you are a fictional character in a D&D universe, but no one will believe you.
So long as you don't become sentient and realize you're a character in a visual novel that looks like it's going to be okie dokie, and then about at the end of chapter 1 you realize it's not okie dokie. There's nothing okie dokie about it. Everything is bad.
Would you might say everything is awful?
No, because awful doesn't quite cover it.
Don asked me to give you a big thumbs up for that one.
All
I
right,
was assuming something like that would happen. Has Don decided on a character? Or more specifically, has Don decided on a class?
Has Dawn decided on a class?
Although Joe's making it difficult because he's sending me very cool stuff.
Joe's sending Dawn cool stuff and making it difficult, apparently.
Ah, I see. Well, I can understand that.
I threw virtual shoe at him and it does not seem to have helped.
You threw a virtual shoe.
Yep.
Did you expect the shoe to help?
Yes.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding what a virtual shoe is.
Is ridicule.
Yes. Yes, no, this
All right,
should help.
Chris, you have an inbound whisper. Bellatrax, how long have you and Brodioga been in Bryn Shander?
I am working up to that. I just got some secret with the thingy. I'm imagining I haven't been there too long. Remind me, is this the place like on the docks or is this further in?
No, this is
Middle of nowhere. And
you
then
know, if only we had like a handout that people got of the 10 towns. Yeah. Pretty sure. It is in all players' journals. If you look in your journal, you should have an Icewind Dale image that you can look at that will show you where Bryn Shander is. It's probably the largest town in the 10 towns.
okay, I am looking at the map.
So if you look, see where it says 10 towns. If you're
Yes.
from the middle, it's kind of like it's like at 8:30, almost 9 o'clock. And if you
Gotcha.
go just to the right of that and up, you will see Bryn Shander.
Yes. So I see Shander. Question: if I were to arrive in the 10 towns by boat to then get to Bryn Shander, where would I arrive? Like where are the docks, if you will?
There aren't any really. The closest thing is probably the Sea of Moving Ice, and by moving ice, what they just mean is basically it's like the Titanic's worst nightmare. It's just it's icebergs and frozen cold, which is like much of it. There is a river that runs into Mel Dualdon, the lake, kind of there in the midst of the 10 towns. There are a couple of them, but they don't really go to any open bodies of water.
So how would one travel? Like, I have to travel there. How would one travel there and how long would it take?
How would travel to where?
Britt, I am trying to get, I am trying to get to the 3 lakes. I need to go investigate the 3 lakes.
So from when Brodiega met with you, when you guys met under those weird circumstances under which you met, and he agreed to kind of help you and guide you into Bryn Shander.
Mm-hmm.
Bryn Shander is kind of I don't know if I call it the hub, but it's the biggest of the cities in the 10 towns. And by big, I mean 1,500 people. None of these places are huge. And from there, there is, and I can't read that. Yeah, excuse me while I whip this out. See, with the book, you get this Coolio map that you guys would have. If we were playing in person. So there is Mayor Dualdon and Loch Denishare. And
Can you
the Red
scan that
Waters.
map and send it to us?
It's in your journal.
It is.
Okay, that's the same map that's in the journal.
It is. It's just in
Okay.
digital form, but yeah. So
That's
you
fine.
have
Perfect.
the Red Waters down here. You have Loch Denishare there, and you have Mare Dualdon right there. Those are the
Yep.
three main bodies of water inside Icewind Dale. There are rivers. The closest one would be Mare Dualdon. It will take you probably somewhere between 4 and 6 hours to get there on foot.
So my question before you go on, because I am very interested in what you're saying, how would someone not from around here get here? Like, he helps me, Jay's character helps me on the way to this town. How do I even get in this region? Because I'm coming from a different region. If it's not by boat.
You came from the southwest, right?
From Lesson.
Huh? Right. You would go overland. You would go overland.
Okay.
There's a pass through the spine of the world. And that pass, if you look at the map and you follow the road from Bryn Shander down through the spine of the world, you can see the path that makes the pass. It goes through the woods and then it goes further south, kind of towards the southwest, kind of southwest, I guess. That would be the road that you went overland over, and that making it into the spine of the world is where you met Jay's character.
Okay. So how long from the spine of the world to Bryn Sander?
That's a very good question.
Because that is the amount of time for
Oh, I
which
get what you're saying. I see. Yeah. I see. I'm picking up what you're laying down. You're like, well, how long
Like-
have I been here? You see the space of time. Yeah? See
that's
this
how
little
long.
see this little line in space time? That would be your answer. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Huh? Are you laughing at me over there? Oh, I mean, you should laugh at me. I absolutely am worthy of laughter.
I believe I just posted a map of Faerun, which may help with some of the orientation. Lisa?
Oh, I have a map up. So
Okay,
like,
then
I
that
was
works too.
just- Yeah, I was just like, I don't understand travel. And it like you told me
sure.
it was 100 miles, and I was
So it
driving
or-
so it probably took you probably had to camp overnight because travel on foot even over the roads is still it's difficult. So your travel time was probably about 12 to 14 hours. Fortunately, you weren't involved in any blizzard action, but because travel is so difficult, you probably took a break in there somewhere. So you probably camped overnight and then finished the way in. I'm envisioning us starting in the late afternoon, early evening. Now, the only way you can tell this is just because it's gone from twilight at midday and now it's fucking dark again. It's
So I
always right. It's
Dark.
always dark here. it never gets above dim light.
So I would say that I've known Jay's character for
2 days.
I would say a week. So because I'm imagining once I get to Bryn Shander, I am definitely going to be like, this is the inn. This is where I'm staying. I need to recover. I am a very wee person. So he helped me get here. I offered. So I've probably been here for a few days and I've known his character for about a week.
Okay, very good. That becomes important. You will know why it becomes important momentarily. Where'd my map go? Ugh. I need a super big version of this.
Do you know how the AC's out? Well, this fan works so well, I'm a little chilly.
That's awesome. Like hearing that.
Question.
Yes.
If I've been there for a week, what actual season? I know the season in Icewind Dale is always the same season. What is the season everywhere else? Is it summer? Is it spring?
Now I'm gonna have to start like keeping a calendar and stuff.
I mean,
No.
backstory.
It's something that I knew I was going to have to do. I would say it is approximately 5 years after. I mean, you heard about this. You've heard some rumors and some pretty reputable stories about some happenings in Waterdeep, which is, another, you're familiar with Waterdeep, and you're also familiar that there was a large battle about 5 years ago with some people who, for whatever reason, worshipped the evil dragon goddess Tiamat. So it's been about 5 years since that happened.
But what's the season? Like, let me tell you why I'm asking, so you can understand what I'm asking. He believed from the sound of the description that the event it was one of only 100 knucklehead trout that managed to escape from the Icewind Dale's waters and return every year.
Spring.
Okay.
Return every spring. Like salmon.
That was the only reason I'm like, I'm just gonna make something up.
So if you want to know what season it is right now, it would be summer. It would be several months after that happened.
Okay.
Giving you enough time to be like, fuck.
There are no seasons in the Icewind Dale.
No, there is. There's
There
four
is only
seasons.
cold.
There's four
and
seasons.
very
There's
cold.
ball shrinking, dark ass winter time. There's slightly less dark frozen winter time. There's really warm winter time, and by warm I mean it's like -40. And then there's, you know, getting ready to be ball shrinking cold winter time. That's a 24-hour day. So yeah, no, there are no seasons in Icewind Dale. It's just winter. It's just
So
it's cold. And,
as a player, having been in, single digit weather, the prospect of -40 just tells me, no one is living here. Everyone here is a lie and an illusion, because no one would choose to stay here. They would
Well-
all leave. This is just a lie.
in Denver, there were multiple days during like daylight hours where it was -25, -30. I've been in that. And it's cold,
geez.
but it's a dry cold, so it's not, it's not quite the same thing. I mean, once
Oh,
you
yeah, I've
cough
never
up some
experienced
ice
a dry cold.
crystals and your lungs kind of thaw out a little bit, it's all right. And Shanna's like,
Jeez.
mm-mm. Shanna does not like the cold in any form.
And so I
I
apologize.
like
if
the 40s and
missed it.
50s.
You
How are
what?
we doing? I'm sorry if I missed it. How are we doing starting equipment?
So you all have your starting equipment based on your class. And in addition to that starting equipment, you have cold weather clothing, which is either a big parka or a big fur-lined coat or cloak of something, gloves, a face covering, a hat, and snowshoes. And part of the reason why travel is so slow is because if you've never walked in snowshoes, it kind of sucks. Imagine walking with tennis rackets strapped to your feet.
Can you list those off again? Because I was about to send you a thing and then got distracted, which is
Right. A hat, a big, picture some sort of winter hat. It could be a beaver hat, whatever you want. Okay. A hat, a face covering, so your eyeballs don't freeze, and a gloves, thick gloves, and boots. I forgot the boots, fur-lined boots. They keep your feet from freezing off, and a big coat or parka, jacket, whatever, heavy, fur-lined, and snowshoes.
Okay.
Yours would be more like ping pong paddles.
me and my little 40-pound ass.
Right.
Just,
You're like, I don't need snowshoes.
I'm gonna go play a game with somebody. See you guys later.
All right. Did you get my message?
I did. I see it.
Okay. Take note of it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the new car.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome on the new car, man.
Yay, car.
Yeah. And yeah, we shall see you later.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So, what was the thing? Oh, yeah. So you say you have been in Bryn Shander. Lisa, you have been in Bryn Shander for a couple of days.
yeah.
Okay,
let's
so
take
you
me-
arrived there, you've been there a couple of days. Now, Brodiega, he's kind of hanging out in town, but he doesn't stay in town very often. And in fact, you could kind of tell his demeanor kind of shifted as you got like into civilization, where you could tell, I'm not going to say he's a melancholic misanthrope, but he's a loner by nature. So, actually, no, I'm not going to say it's been a couple of days. It's going to be a day. the weather, after you guys arrived, the weather got, you know, bad. And for Icewind Dale, that's really bad. And so he decided to stay overnight. And so you guys have been in town roughly 24 hours.
I just sent you something if you can check if it works with Canon.
Thumbs up.
I'm fairly certain that my character, Croesus,
Mm-hmm.
will have been there for at least, well, you said this has been going on for 5 years, or was it 2 years, 3 years? What was it?
It's been going
That-
on for several years.
Okay. I'm going to say that my character has, while from the area, left to go
Do some other
See.
stuff, right?
do some other stuff and has returned, you know, a month or two after
Do you
things got dark.
do you
And has
have
been there ever
your
since.
do you have your backstory written down somewhere, and have you sent it to me? Let me put it another way. If you have, I don't have it.
No, yes, I know you don't have it, and I
Okay.
need to get that to you.
Go.
So I will get that to you as soon as I can.
All righty.
But it is not quite out of my head and onto paper yet. But that's why I'm telling you now that
Gotcha.
plan
Yeah,
is-
nope, that works perfectly.
yeah, for my character to have been there several months after to return, basically. Several months after. So that puts me here a couple years minus a few months.
Quick question: is anyone else from the not Icewind, like not from here?
I'm not from here. Both my characters will not be from here, whichever one I end up picking.
Allie, what was that?
I am not from here.
So what you doing here? Where are you from?
The what I'm doing here might be released later on, but where am I from? Well, I was born into a cult. I was trying to create angel people, like celestial people. And let's just say my ritual that was supposed to produce me and another person was supposed to produce 2 people, only produced 1.
Excellent.
And that's why my hair is half goldish blonde and the other half like a bluish blonde. But I was rescued out of the cult about 4.5 years ago. And I've been living with my half sister and half brother on our commune for a bit. And now I'm going to try and make a name for myself, except not with that accent.
Got you. Make a name for yourself doing what? What is the...
I'm gonna make a name for myself, yes.
Cool. Essentially, okay, cool. Donald is, either one of your characters needing to like get paid to take people north?
No, neither. Both my characters would probably be paying somebody to help him get somewhere rather than getting paid to get somewhere.
Samesies.
So Lisa, the racket, not racket, it's not a racket, but the kind of the unwritten, unofficial sort of business arrangement is Brody Aga brings people into Bryn Shander, and Iggy, he's going to be Iggy. Iggy is a white dragonborn, and he is knowledgeable of the area, and he can arrange an expedition or help guide you to wherever you need to go, which is a convenient reason for him to be there with everyone when you all meet at the end.
Iggy and I turned into a dragonborn from a lizard.
Wait, oh no, he's a lizard. Never mind. Man, see, all you reptiles look alike to me.
Oh,
Racist.
we
Wow.
can say, oh my goodness.
And Lisa, I am also not from here. I'm from Luskin.
Hey, excellent. That's where I'm from. I'm from outside of Luskin.
Awesome. And so you see me, I have a very familiar bard cloak.
See, you can see there where it now says lizard fault.
And was brought in. I am wide-eyed and you get the impression that I'm fairly new at the barding thing. I am either a very, very handsome guy or a very handsome lady. You're not quite sure which.
Absolute total David Bowie going on.
Yes, David
Right.
Bowie would be a good thing, and
Oh,
very much.
you can make your first song Iggy Stardust about Owen's character.
There we go.
Nice.
And I like singing. I like being in a crowd and just getting to know what other people are. I really like to. I will want to listen and collect stories and understand things. So I will be out and about and very, very talkative, but more talkative to elicit stories. And you'll see me kind of write them down. It may be a songbook of some kind or a song idea book, but you see me just writing things down after I've given somebody their full attention and just been right there for them.
You glance at the notebook and you really, all she's writing is all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Ooh.
Over and over, like it getting smaller and bigger. And yeah.
So question, Laura, before here, because I am, if anything, a sequentialist. Well before here, I am about to go, like I am to the point where I'm at Luskin, and my father has said, "You're going on sabbatical. We're going to send you to the 10 towns." So he's going to put me on like, I forgot what they are. I want to say
Caravan.
What do you call it? What?
Caravan.
Caravan.
Yeah, caravan. Sure.
On a caravan that will take me as far as Huddlestone, from Luskin to Huddlestone. Did you want to be part of that caravan? Like
I would love to be. Makes
Excellent.
sense.
Cool. So you've been there an extra day too. Yay.
That also makes it very easy for you to join the shenanigans, since I'm seeking out your guide. And if you happen to be with your guide, then you happen to be with me when I seek him out.
Lisa, another thing that I forgot to mention was that my character, as well as being split gold, blue hair, but like a goldish blonde, like very much blonde, slightly yellow tinted, and then blue, blonde, slightly blue tinted. also has a beard, but also boobs, which is kind of confusing a little bit, you know? Yeah.
I mean, honestly and truly, if I see you in the bar before whatever scene is or is not going to happen when we all meet each other for the first time, I would probably ask you for samples of all your hairs.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Well,
But
that's not normal.
but not
I was
in a
just
like
gonna
a
say,
crazy
like,
way.
can
I would just be
I
like,
want
you look
to,
so
I
cool.
totally want you guys to role play this out.
What's the
Yeah.
what's the new meme from the no way home thing? Seems weird, but I'll allow it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sandalphon was in a cult. They don't mess with people wanting to like take their hair. They're like, no.
Again, I don't know that. I just see you and I'm just like, oh my God, you look so cool. I wonder about your, I wonder, ooh. And then I would like
Oh,
an
that's right.
absolute stranger and I would just come up to me and be like, excuse me, I really enjoy your hair. May I have a sample of left, right, and beard? Like,
No.
stranger.
I'm going to not hit you because I think you're well intentioned.
I
No.
appreciate you not hitting me. So is that a hard no?
Very much so. Maybe if I get to know you and like 5 years later, something. But
Okay,
definitely.
excellent. Here, let me. This is my well. This is the address of my father. So in 5 years, just in case we lose touch, and you still want to be part of this deal, you can send me your hair. Here you go.
Yes, I definitely know how to use the mail system. Thank you.
You're-
I
I really appreciate it.
I want you to both give yourself inspiration to start the game with. I'm going to be passing out inspiration like candy. Just I'm definitely I'm definitely going down the Bria road here. So you're
I
inspired.
just heard it was going to be a hard
I'm
no.
inspired.
And all I can think of was that she was going to get punched.
Right. Hey, Robert, how much do you remember about stuff that we talked about like I'm looking.
I probably remember, but
Yeah.
if you want to like
Um,
not say it out loud, you can just PM me.
you know
through
what? I'm
Messenger.
going to whisper. I'm going to whisper something to you. And but
I'm not
first,
in Roll20, so just FYI, it would take me
okay,
a moment to
then
get
you
to.
need to get into Roll20, man. I don't know what to tell you.
That's a fair reply. That's
Right.
reasonable.
Right? I mean, you know, it's our space where we play the D and the D's.
I am nearby my computer for the time being, so you can accommodate. Hey, look, here's my D&D browser. Roll20. Get there.
Uh-huh.
Launch Rhymer the Frost Maiden, because we have stopped Rabbit from running.
We have indeed. Rabbit's run is done.
All right, loading. Okay, I can now see chat. I do not see any whispers.
Huh?
I can see the chat. I do not see any whispers.
Okay.
You might have to
That's
send
fine.
again.
I need you to tell me what your passive perception is, and then I need you to make me a perception check.
Oh man, I gotta go load my character. Jeez.
I know.
All of these just requirements.
I know.
All right.
I know.
Collections, my
it's
character.
tough playing D&D, man.
I know. You gotta even show up and be prepared. Holy moly. All right. My passive perception is probably low. Oh wow, it is 1 point higher than I thought it was, and my passive perception is 11.
Is what?
11. 1-1.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Da, 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 da. Oh wow, I did good on that one.
Yeah,
I decided for the first time I was not going to be proficient in perception and just rely on the party to be perception. I'm trusting the party a lot on this campaign.
You shouldn't. They all have secrets.
I'm starting to think that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Laura, what is your character's name, or what? And you don't have to tell me your true name. What would you have introduced yourself as? Or if I ran, like, if you were playing something, I'd like run up to you and be like, "That is a very interesting instrument. How long have you been playing?"
I've been playing almost all my life. My name is Sistine Songsayer. So glad to make your acquaintance.
Can you send me how to spell that?
Yes.
The PH is silent.
Oh, there's a PH in your name too.
I've got 7, but they're all silent.
You have 7 PHs in your name. Are they pronounced different ways?
They are, but they are all silent. It takes years to master.
Yes. Understand.
Woohoo! First roll of the campaign was a roll, and there were probably results from that roll.
So fun story. I remember this, and ironically, my roll, we've rolled this roll before.
We have?
And the last roll revealed the same information. Yes.
Amazing how that worked out.
Yes.
Is
So if I scroll
Almost as though it were important information, but also almost as though you weren't terribly bad at this.
Actually, this roll was better.
Although,
than
you know what,
last one. I rolled a 14.
I'm gonna kind of say, man, being low in perception in your line of work is probably not great.
Yeah, I may decide to. I mean, I'm proficient in deception and investigation and intimidation. So I don't know. I may change it. We'll see. Maybe
You know.
you
Yeah.
can't be good at everything. I am level 1.
Yeah, this is true.
There's a reason I'm in Icewind Dale and not like in the heart of Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate.
This is true. Yeah, this is true.
Low whiz characters being like, I think Icewind Dale is a good place to adventure.
This is awesome. Oh yeah, wisdom was your dump stat, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the reason that I'm here is partly because I'm from here, and like that's why I was put back here. So
that is absolutely what you think.
Yes, like there might have been a little bit of like personal choice, like oh yeah, let's go see home again. But like,
do you remember? There is a person here that you know, and do you remember anything about them?
Yes, I do remember about them, and I remember why they are at least important and what that means for the rest of the party.
Right, and but also, I mean, at some point, Varuk would have seen you maybe have like a moment with what for all intents and purposes looked like a homeless person.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm willing to believe that.
I'm just it was kind of after that conversation that you were like, oh, and then you wandered over to the job board and you were, hey,
yep,
what you doing? And he was like,
hi, big fella.
Right. And he's like, try and read words hard. You're like, man, a few words.
You job?
Right. I don't see glowing question mark overhead. Must not be giving quest.
This is what we
Okay.
call a mainline quest. You just
Mhm.
get it. You don't get to choose it.
Yeah. I'm gonna try really hard to not run some of the on some of it. I'm gonna have to kind of like there's a couple of things to get started that there's going to be some rails involved. But then after the rails, it's not going to be like, say, the J sandbox. It's going to be kind of like, you know how some nights in bowling alleys they put the pads in there. So
Yeah.
it's not rails, but it's bumper bowl. You know, it's
The way
kind of
I've,
bumper
I've,
bowl.
I've heard it described very often is there's a place we need to get to, but there are a lot of paths to get there.
Right. There are.
If we came, if night one we looked at you and said, "Hey, we want to take ship to Waterdeep," you're like, "Okay, well then I guess we're done for the night. And I'll talk to y'all next week." Or we can go where the game's taking us.
Right. Be like, well, okay. I'm not gonna like I'm
Right.
not gonna say I will never say no. I will just warn you that the amount of props and maps and
Yeah.
the quality of your session may degrade.
I have a friend who's in the middle of Icewind Dale right now, and he's been very careful not to give me any spoilers at all because he respects the integrity of the game. But he has mentioned to me sort of how things progress in this campaign. So that is cool. I'm on board. I think it'll be fun, and I am willing to follow the DM process. Now,
I'm ready to
I
not
remember
make as many
knowing-
decisions as in his campaign.
well, see, that's the thing. Knowing us, when presented freedom, we take that, we overanalyze and rethink because we're used to playing in Jay's world, in which case, you know, the subtlety of a clue could be opinion.
Analysis paralysis is
Yes.
is probably our party's greatest weakness.
Right. So, and I also remember the famous, part in one of Chris's campaigns that we were playing in, where he was trying to use a banshee howl to keep us moving, but instead of moving, we all stopped and prepared to fight the banshee.
Yeah, we're like, okay,
then-
all right, let's do this.
Yeah, and then the banshee went away, so we all started moving. Then the banshee came back when we started lollygagging, so we stopped and bunkered down. And eventually, if you have to just say, "Hey, don't do that. Try to move forward," we'll be like, "Okay," and that'll be fine. If the game has to, flash the big forward-moving arrow in the direction we're supposed to go to tell us the level's moving this way, we better go catch it, that is okay too.
Lisa, I sent you a thing. Laura, I'm about to send you a thing that is now, this is, have you guys ever seen the series Travelers? It has, shit. What was that TV series about I want to say the redhead that needed like a sandwich or two, and the gay guy that she was living with?
Will and Grace as the guy. from
Will
and
and Grace. Okay, it has
Oh
Will
my
in
gosh, Will and Grace. Jesus.
it. Right.
Don,
That is the most
that was a
interesting
really,
way.
yeah.
I
This
got
is
it.
literally one of my talents is picking up crap like that from those kind of clues.
Right, but was
got
it an inaccurate description?
No, I knew exactly what you're talking about.
Right. Okay. So Will's in it, and it's a series about time travelers that have been sent back in time and Earth to prevent the collapse of society and civilization, everything. And there are times when they actually successfully alter the timeline. And so there's this period where the timeline updates and things happen. It also happens in 12 Monkeys. There are times when they kind of blur through things. So Laura, this is your timeline being updated slightly. This is the world updating.
Awesome.
Joe, do you need anything else from me to get
I
started?
don't think so. How long are you going to say you have been in Bryn Shander?
I don't know. As long as you need it to be for my secret to keep, to be a thing, and all of that.
Well,
Like,
you've been in this area for at least a couple of months. There
okay.
is a tiny, like, indeterminate time. There's a period of time that you're uncertain of time.
Mhm.
But you're pretty confident you've been here for roughly a month. You found a road and followed that road into Bryn Shander, and we'll say that was roughly a day or so ago. So you found your way to the North Look, which is the tavern in, the place where everybody meets. And so you've stayed there overnight. The weather last night turned really bad,
Ooh.
blizzard conditions. You decided maybe it would be better to stay here where it was warm. And, now it's the next day. You've been here in the tavern roughly, since you woke up. You've noticed a few people kind of congregating around the fireplace, and you've already had a conversation with maybe a little irrespective of personal space boundaries gnome. But you've noticed that the gnome has will wander around and then kind of gravitate back to this group kind of around the fireplace, and it kind of piques your curiosity. So you kind of, let's see what
So
those people are up to.
It's been about a month since my secret happened.
Well, you're not sure.
Okay, not sure. Got it.
You're not sure. You're pretty confident you have been in Icewind Dale for about a month. And somewhere in that month is when your secret occurred.
Nice. Cool.
You don't know. You don't. So there's like a point you remember up to, which was maybe a week or so. And then there's another thing that you remember. And it's been probably about a week, because it took you a little while to find the road and then make it into town.
Yeah.
Luckily, you were able to find, appropriate clothing and make your way, into civilization. Let me put it another way. Finding a town with a fire and some food was probably one of the few moments of true joy you have had since finding your way into this frozen hellscape.
Yeah.
Dark frozen hellscape.
Can we do some more role playing, or do you need to do more administrative work?
Do you need to do that with me?
No, I don't need. Oh, I was do role play with Lisa because it's fun.
You role play with Lisa all you want. I have I have to update Laura's timeline a little bit. There's a bit of a blur. Some things changed, and oddly enough, though, she seems outside of the space-time continuum, so she's able to see the changes.
Quick 2 questions, and then I'm here for this because I'm done. Like, I have crossover 1 with Laura's character done. I'm about to finish crossover 2 with Jay's character.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have one question. Lisa, on your character sheet, it says Bellatrax, and on your name on the bottom, it says Bellatax. Bellatax. Like Bell attacks.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So Bella.
Like a tax for beauty. Bellatax.
Bellatax. That's even so much better.
Bella's also beauty, right?
Bella is
2 different terms for beauty. Like it.
Bellatax ops.
okay. Y'all hold on just 1 second. Okay, sorry guys, I had
Hey,
to.
Joe.
Yes.
I am going to head out. I got a little bit more packing I have to do, and then I have to crash so I can be up at the crack of dawn.
Right on.
But I will get you that backstory as soon as I can, and then we can flesh out any particular details that need to be a certain way.
Okay, will do, man.
Be so,
Splendid.
Robert, like
right.
you and your family, be so safe.
Be safe and
Oh, we will.
make good choices.
And
I
Mazel
will
Tov.
do my best.
Get better idols.
Thank you.
And
All right, take it easy.
be safe, man. We'll see you.
Bye,
We'll
sir.
talk to you
Safe
soon.
travels.
Yep.
So my two questions, real quick, Joe, is how far is Hundlestone from Bryn Shander? Hundlestone is like right below where what is that thing called? The foresty thing?
The foresty thing.
The spine of the world?
Spine.
Oh, the spine of the world.
Right. So the spine of the world is approximately 12 to 14 hours from Bryn Shander. Does that help? Oh,
Okay.
Hundlestone. Hundlestone is on the other side of the spine of the world.
Yeah.
Right. Probably about a week.
Okay. So if within the first or after the first week in the smaller caravan, we were attacked by an owlbear, that would.
It's right about when you were about halfway through the spine of the world. Halfway through this, halfway through the thing.
Okay.
You were attacked by an owlbear.
And then what, not that I'm racist, but what race visually is Bolden Yeager? Is he like
I think he looks human.
is he human? That's fine.
He for all I mean, as from what you know of the genealogy and taxonomy of these, big people, you're relatively certain he's a standard human.
Okay. So not dragon, not orc, not dwarf.
No, very human.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Lisa, more flavor. The half that's blue has a blue eye, and the half that's yellowish gold has a golden eye, both with no pupils.
Oh, I am going to just stare at you. Not in like a creepy way, but like in a the meme of the white girl like making all of the like equations and stuff, like that kind of not creeping you out, but just
I'm gonna just kind of whisper to myself, this is why I attract so many cults. Excuse me, are you part of a cult?
I don't think so. Are you part of a cult? What cult? How do they feel about math?
I have been part of cults. Not anymore. What was the other question?
How do they feel about math? How do you feel about math?
What's math? Oh, wait, are you talking about mathematics?
Yes.
Got it. Yes. It is a thing, yes.
It is a thing. It's a thing I enjoy very much.
Good for you.
Do you think that I could maybe one day It may happen 5 years from now. I do not want to rush you. I want to be very respectful. But do you think one day I could measure the distance between each of your eyes and then the size of your forehead and perhaps the size of your nose and the cheek to the ear ratio?
That might happen before 5 years, considering you won't be taking any of me with you like you would with the hair. But I would still have to get to know you because I do seem to attract cults and I don't particularly like to be around them.
Well, I'm from a tribe. What is do you know the very specific the differences between a cult and a tribe, and can you describe them?
Did they try to sacrifice anyone?
No, but we do have a large feast 3 times a year.
That's not necessary. Did they try to create people by did they try to create people that didn't exist before? Not like a kind
We
of
do
people.
create things that don't exist before, but they're mostly mechanical, where we really like metal.
Does the metal have any souls? Are you trying to create a soul?
That would be an interesting experiment. Most of our metal is inanimate. We tend to work with the inanimate and magnetic because magneticism is part of our little magic, you understand?
Yes. So I think the difference between a cult and a just a normal group of people is trying to create a life that didn't exist, a soul, if you will, and then also killing people.
Now, I will say we have had some accidents, so we never intend to. But sometimes accidents happen. Once we were making this machine, it was one of my father's experiments. He's quite brilliant. And what he was doing is he was trying to make this cannon. He was making orcs, and the cannon had 2 axes, and they went.
And someone died from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just in the background, you see Sistan just like, this is good. This is good.
I think an also thing that needs to happen for cults to exist is that you can't, like, some people can't leave on their own free will. Like, I couldn't leave the first one for my own free will, and I definitely could not leave the second one by my own free will.
You ended up in 2 cults? That's an amazing. I wonder what the odds of that are. Do you know how, may I ask, if you don't mind, how old you are? Because I would like to work out that statistic.
I'm not sure. There seems to be missing time, but I'm probably 20.
Centuries?
No.
Years?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how like, do your people age at a certain, like, do you have like teeth that come in or like digits that come in at a certain age? Because we could definitely date you, because you know how you can date trees and animals? Like, there's certain animals that grow.
I don't want to be cut open.
Oh, I would never cut you open. I was thinking visually, which is one of the reasons I want to measure you, because, you know, a gnome, our arms don't fully develop until we're at least 150. I'm not fully developed long. My arms should get longer.
Yes, my people are relatively new.
That's fascinating.
Yes, I'm kind
Read
of,
about you in a library?
I'm only about 10 years younger than the first of our people. Ish, kind of. There were some before those people that existed, but they weren't fully what we wanted them to be.
So you're like a 2.0. So like there was an original design, and then that design did not work quite as well. So it went to the lab and more experiments were run, and then you were created as a different model, but an upgraded model.
My siblings were created for the different model, and I was going to be created off of my siblings' model, but it didn't work well, quite right.
So you were like in a production line, but like an offcut?
No, it was same laboratory, but there was supposed to be 2 of me, and there wasn't.
And then you can see her clearly, like clearly look at your hair and eyes and go, it makes so much sense.
Yes, yes.
So I can't remember. Did we give Roxiel the death Roxiel so richly deserved?
Yes,
Okay.
Remuel, I believe, killed her.
Right. I was like, I remember keeping a disintegrate like in the bag specifically for Roxiel because Nox promised you would not let you be taken alive.
Yeah, Remuel did not want to go into that cult.
Yep. And it was like you basically you were like, I don't, just make me a promise that whatever. And then Nox was like, I understand. And I remember, I seem to remember he had like a rash of like Owen rolls that, and then he had a rash of like really bad rolls. It was like several things kind of fell apart on him at the end.
Yeah, he also forgot that he had adamantine armor, which helps against critical attacks, and Remuel rolled a couple 20s on Roxia.
That's right.
I rolled so well that night. It was crazy.
Almost like it was meant to be.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So.
Okay. I do believe I have, for the most part, finished my backstory.
Beautiful.
Like to receive it.
How would I like to receive it? You can if you can fit it through Messenger, that's fine.
Cool. And then of course, like I have I will go and enrich it and stuff. But this is what do we call it as we're doing the new website? This is the framework. This is a very good framework.
Framework. Yes. Right. Mm-hmm. Not to quote Church's album titles or anything, but it's the bones of what you believe.
Bless you. Not well, that to Church's album as well, but mostly to Allie. But yes, that sounds awesome.
I sneezed, by the way, if you did not know.
I couldn't tell.
I saw you vampiring.
I want to suck your blood.
So with that being my backstory, that kind of tells you where I'm at. And clearly you can get an idea as I'm in pub place where I'm just all like, and I would say, depending on who else is there, this might happen with almost every person.
I quite look forward to it. I should honestly, I'm having their accent be British, but Owen kept slipping between British and Australian. If I knew how to do Australian, I would do that too.
Rise obliged. Where in D&D Beyond do you see whether you're encumbered or not? Oh, I see it. Okay, wait, and unencumbered. Okay, cool.
That would be it.
It must be different on Roll20 because that's not where I thought I was supposed to see it. Cool. I'm still unencumbered. Okay, cool.
Allie, I would also ask if has anyone done a study on your new species? It is very fascinating.
So yes, the people who made us. However,
that can't be objective. The people who create you can't do an objective study on the product.
So I'm just going to tell you right now, if you try to study me, I will probably end up hurting you in some way.
Oh, of course. I'm so sorry. I was just meaning that, new life is so fascinating. And
yes, I definitely was tested on quite a bit as a child, and I don't think the methods were ethical.
Well, if they're unethical, then the methodology is flawed.
Yes, let me just let you know that my sister and brother definitely told them that with violence.
Violence.
Yes, they were. Let's just say that the scientists, let's call them that for now, definitely were not going to stop what they were doing if they continued to live.
Would we call them scientists if it's flawed methodology? At this point, they are amateurs, and they seem to be unethical hobbyists, if you will.
Yes, this is true. I was very lucky that I did not also get a pact with their patron, if you will. My brother was forced into a deal. One of my brothers, I should say. I have many siblings.
I've read about this. Well, clearly not with your people because you've been 20 years. Like, this is very interesting and very new, but I've read about pacts with people. Haven't experienced it yet, clearly, but that is fascinating.
Yes. Yes. I believe he pacted with our father, but it's weird because our parentage is not necessarily mother and father. It's more of a thing that happens. But not happens as in like organically happens, has to have a certain set of circumstances beforehand.
So am I to understand that your species is more hatched than born?
There's no egg, but kind of. More like divine. But in certain cases, our species can also, I've heard of talks of other branches of our species in other places that occur naturally. Ours was not the case.
So you're like a hybrid or an evolution?
I think so.
Excellent. Good to know. Good to know. I wonder what the difference between the measurements between your eyes and your forehead are to compare to what we would call the original or unevolutionalized version.
Yes, I look forward. You can do that to me once we go through a life and death scenario, and where I know how you act in that. It gives me a good judge of a person.
Though I am very intrigued by this offer, I do not like to be in life and death situations, as I am very little.
Yes, I tend to get in them a lot.
So would you say that it is a byproduct of your species, perhaps like a pheromone you could give off?
I mean, perhaps, maybe it's also abusers tend to look towards abused people a lot, tend to prey on previous abused people, or perhaps it's my anger issues that I've had to work on quite a bit.
You know what? We had this one guy in our little province. His name was Grot, and he had a lot of anger issues. But we sent him to the shaman. She wasn't in our village because we don't really believe in that kind of thing, but she was in the village over. And he said that she gave him an herb that really helped. I wish I could remember. I'll look back in my notes, but I don't believe I took this journal with me.
Yes. My sister really believes in eating flowers will help my anger.
I do believe it was a flower, but I believe they had to dry it or something like that. There was a process to it. The shaman, they are a different kind of magic. I believe in like metals and like scientific theory and testing. And they believe in something else. And I haven't quite figured it out because you can't put it in an equation.
Yes. My sister very much is like, if something looks pretty and you eat it, it will probably make you happy on the inside.
How much extensive testing has she done?
I mean, really just her and my siblings are like, here, eat this edible flower that I can make into a flower crown for you. She's also vegetarian, but not because she doesn't like or she likes animals or whatever. She grew up in the Feywild, and so she says everything, all the food here does not taste good, and so she might as well eat something pretty.
The Feywild. I've heard of this. I've read about it in a book, but it doesn't seem to be well mapped.
I've been there a couple times to visit Grandma. No, mother. No. Remiel's adopted parents.
So you're not hatched, you're divined.
Yes.
You have no heritage or direct parentage. However, your sister has adopted family for which you refer to by a family relation.
Yes. Sometimes we just call her Susan. We're not really sure what her name is. She just kind of is like she doesn't really have a physical form. She's just there in the Feywild.
Is it to relate to somebody who doesn't have a physical form?
Is it difficult to relate to someone? I don't know. Also, sometimes she'll split off into a lot of tiny forms.
So are we talking about like when an octopus or another sea creature lays many eggs, but they're not really a new creation? It is just a subspecies of themselves, like an octopus growing a new arm?
So as you say that, but I don't think the octopus's children can reassess into one creature. Like they split off and go back together, but they have different minds.
This is true, but an octopus tentacle can grow an entire new octopus, and an octopus can grow a new tentacle.
This is very interesting. Yes. I don't know if it's difficult to relate. I barely know this person. Remiel grew up with her. I did not. I grew up in the cult and only recently met this person.
Are you referring to the first cult or the second cult? I am trying to make a very good chronological line of the story that you've told me so far.
Got it. I grew up in one cult for the first 15 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then was taken out of that cult. And I got into a new cult within the last year. But I didn't want to be in that cult. I never wanted to be in that cult. I just was put in that cult.
I can completely understand why you would be so distrustful of cults if they just fall upon you.
Yes. And some people say that the place I live with my sister and brother is a cult, but I don't think it is because I'm free to leave whenever I want. And that has been not the case for the other two cults I've been in.
That's very interesting to not be free. How does that feel to you?
So have you ever like been out in the well, you've obviously been out in the cauldron here, and then like tried to put your hand in like a lukewarm water and it just feels like it's burning you? Like that.
But if it's
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I love the difference between me and Siston. Where she's just like, she's very emotional. I'm like, but if it's lukewarm, do you know what temperature it is exactly? Because lukewarm should not burn. That's the whole point of it being lukewarm.
Well, it's your hand feels really cold because it is really cold because it's been outside in the cold, and then the drastic change in temperature is why it feels like it's burning.
I have recently felt this phenomenon, but I really thought I had to take the temperature of the water to be accurate. This is a really new phenomenon for me.
Very. Yes. This is quite interesting being studied, but only with questions.
Well, I would never study you against your will. That is unethical and it defeats methodology.
I like you. I'm glad I did not punch you earlier.
I am also very glad you did not punch me.
See, look, I'm getting better at my anger management.
This is true. Do you know what? I know they don't have that particular herb, but I hear that tea has herbs. Do you think they have tea here? Do you like tea?
Okay, my sister tries to feed me tea all the time. I think it tastes like hot leaf water. Not a big fan. However, I am a fan of cold tea, an iced tea, if you will.
That should be easy enough to arrange here.
Like
I enjoy your technical analysis of tea. It is in fact hot leaf water.
I wonder what it is that compels people to hold others against their will or form a cult?
A powerful being. Both were very much the commonality. Not the same powerful being, obviously, but both cults revolved around a powerful being of some sort.
You would think a being of power would not have to enslave others at their will or hold them.
Well, one of the powerful beings really wanted it spread, and so we were supposed to be that spread of the world.
I've heard these beings that once they have power, all they want is more power through followers or worshippers or other members. That is unfortunate that they don't realize what they put the individuals in that situation in.
Yes, the second cult, however, I don't think was following the orders of the powerful being. I don't think they were doing it for the. I don't know if the powerful being even liked that cult, to be honest.
There is a type of science I've only heard about, and because it has no true measurements, I don't know how scientific it is. Psychology, I think it's called psychology, and what you are referencing is something that I've read about in a psychology book. But because there is no true measurements, is it really science?
I mean,
But I think there are ways to take a perspective of where someone is to understand versus to you, sweet one, take measurements to understand, and others might take the perspective of someone else to understand. It's all understanding, but different forms.
But wouldn't the perspective be drawn by vector?
Oh, but like consider instead of like in psychology, I think you'd be a vector not necessarily drawn in standard position. You can make a vector out of any other thing, and so technically all vectors can exist based off of one thing. This character has the intelligence for this, by the way. She does. They do. But also, like, consider, in modular system 2, 1 + 1 is equal to 0, but in most cases, 1 + 1 is equal to 1. Is equal to 2, or in finite field 4, 1 + 1 is equal to a. Doesn't necessarily have 1 + 1 doesn't necessarily have a distinct measurement unless you can define it in a field.
I am more familiar and very much more comfortable with tactical mathematics, where it is always a proven science, because that makes sense. The theoretical is not it's not a comfortable place for me, because though I can imagine it, because I cannot prove it, it is not hard science, and I am a big fan of hard science.
Oh, I can show you how to prove it. I got really bored in a cage for the first 15 years of my life. That's where I found this. But I can help you prove it. I can show you the proof for it sometime. Not now. I am too tired.
This is very true. We have been on a long journey. How long have you been here? We've only been here for a few years.
I don't know how long I've been here, to be quite frank. There is some time missing that I am not sure of what amount.
That is a good. If you have no measurement for your age, how do you measure time itself?
Yes. Also, there's not an easy like day and night cycle here to figure out how many days something has been. It's pretty much dark all the time. I mean, there are the stars, but sometimes it's very stormy and hard to see them.
I did not take this into my calculations.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The bard, is it your name again? Siston, and I don't believe I offered my name earlier. Sorry about that. I'm Sandalphon, or Dalfy for short, or Dalf, or don't call me Sandy, please. It's too girly, and it gives me just a funny feeling. Not that girly is bad. I just personally don't like the feeling of that name.
It's your name. You get to choose it.
This is very true.
Yes, I definitely chose my name.
Well, I mean, you get to choose what people call you, even if your name is something else.
Got
You,
it. That is what freedom is, isn't it?
it's part of it.
Good to know. I'm learning all these new things that I'm allowed to do.
I am Bellatrax Ox, but some people call me Lady Ox, some people call me Bellatrax, some people call me Tax. My father calls me Little Taxi.
I like
What
tax.
are you, what would you like to hear from my lips on how you're called?
Very interesting.
You
way of looking
you
at it.
you have been referring to me as Miss Bellatrax, and I really do enjoy that. But however, it is a bit cumbersome. And if we were ever in a situation, Miss Bellatrax is a little bit long. So if you wanted to shorten that, I would not be upset.
I like tax. Tax is a very pretty name.
I I am a performer and I find that different people like different songs, different styles. Think about how you like to be called, and I want to call you that.
If you like to call me Tax, I have been called Taxing by many, many people in my tribe.
Taxing. Oh no, sweetheart. Oh goodness. I think I'll call you Tax for short.
Excellent.
But so you know, you're not taxing. That is the other person's fault, not yours.
How is it?
And Dalf, is it?
Dalf, yes. Short for Sandalphon. Sandalphon. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've only been, it was said to me a couple times. But yeah. Sandalphon. There it is. Dalf. Dalfie.
Wow.
Dalfie.
Some of my siblings call me Phony.
That doesn't sound very kind. I'm not very good at interpersonal relationships. It's not my strong suit, but I have found that sibling rivalry can sometimes be unkind.
Yes, it's unkind, but not necessarily mean.
Okay.
They never do it they do it as a way of bonding, not as a way of harming. As I've been told by Remiel.
I've been told this, that sometimes a playful jabbing can be congenial.
Yes.
But as you are a person prone, not that you were prone to violence, you said that you were born to violence and that things have happened to you and sometimes you like to punch. I would say that jabbing may not be the best way to approach someone like you from an analytical standpoint.
Once you get to know me, it's much better, but it's the familiarity that adds a little bit more. I'm not going to punch you in the cheek.
Excellent. If there is anything I can do to help ensure that you will not punch me, please let me know and I will put it down and I will take note.
You've already done it. You are very charming. Not really charming, but you're very likable. But if you don't want to lose that privilege of not being punched, never touch me without my permission. Or touch me with objects without my permission. That is the way you keep not being punched.
Noted. Duly noted. I shall write a note.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Where are you from, each of you? I almost said y'all, which would not work with this accent.
I'm from Luskin.
Yes, I definitely know where that is.
It is, as almost everything is from this point on to the south, but it is the sea city. It is a port town with lots of ships.
Mm-hmm.
So sailing vessels that go out to see the world. So you see a lot of different people come through Luskin and different places. I perhaps romanticized or saw different people and wanted to be them, wanted to go out and venture into the world, and so I have.
Oh, yes. I'm very bad with geography, being locked in a cage for most of my life. You, my dear artificer.
Indeed, I come from a very small gnome province outside of Luskin, and we are So we are definitely merchants, but we're also scientists. We like to build things, and we find Luskin to be an excellent place to export our creations.
Oh, yes. Makes sense. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the cannon I told you about with the 2 racks? Like the 3rd iteration of that really did work, and we sold it to this. I believe I think the term is pirates. I think they are pirates, and they I believe the race is half. I have met a lot of people, but if I do not take extensive notes or I do not have my notes with me, sometimes they do not stick, but I try to have good recall. So I do believe that we sold it to pirate half orcs, and they were very brutish, but very wealthy. And it was a very good sale for my father.
Yes. Cool. Very, very interesting. Love that. Yes. I believe my race is called Azimar with 2 A's at the beginning. I believe so is what we're called.
I believe I read about, maybe not directly this race, however, a subrace in the celestial science and heritages.
That would make sense. I am part celestial.
That is fascinating. I've never took measurements of a celestial before.
And you will not yet.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. I am part celestial. That's the no pupils thing. I also, sometimes when I get really, really, like more angry than normal angry, I sometimes emit deadly light.
Has that ever been measured, like the heat of it, or is it, how is it deadly?
It burns people.
So like heat?
No, like the sun burns you sometimes, but just really quickly.
You see me take out my lute and I try to play something that I think is soothing to you. And I go, is this at all helpful for your mood? I'd love to find something that perhaps could help be soothing.
Currently, those iterations really just hurt me. But according to my sister, after you grow and become more older, it can hurt other people.
The music picks up a little bit more, but but just kind of trying to be soothing, and I'm just like,
What does I also heard? It's very tiring, and you can really only like do it once per day. And like, I don't know, it's only like, man, no, my sister has scars from it down her eyes and like down her cheeks and chin, but she says I probably won't get them because I started adventuring later in my life than she did, which I don't understand.
I'm very handy with salves as well, and perhaps maybe we could devise something if she should need it. But in the meantime, I'm just going to play some music.
Nice.
Let me know if you find it helpful. A lot of times my music is found to soothe.
You will tell when I am angry. It is very obvious.
I shall go find you some cold leaf water.
Thank you. Okay, I'm getting tired. I love Lisa. I love you so much, Mom. You're doing a great job. Oh goodness, I can't wait to see everyone else's characters.
This is one of those times when I am super glad it's being recorded.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
And I have under Dolph's notes, it just says hot leaf water.
Hot leaf water. That's from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Hot leaf water.
Hot leaf water.
Mm-hmm.
And Tax will 100% go up to the bar and ask for hot tea, and then go outside and grab some snow and put it in there and bring it to you. Cold leaf water.
See, Allie doesn't like iced tea. Allie loves hot tea. So I decided to switch it up a bit.
You said
Yeah.
and to be exact, she would have an extra little cup of other snow and ice to be like, is this temperature cold enough? Would you like it colder? Because I do have temperature gauges that I can make this the temperature that you desire.
Yes, let me take a sip and see. Maybe a scoop more ice. Perfect.
Excellent. Do you think that it also adds to the dilution of the solution? Because I feel like a hot tea is a more thing, but when you dilute it, so maybe you would enjoy hot leaf water if there was a greater ratio of water to leaf.
You know, you might be on to something. I also like the added sugar, even though this one does not, but I'm being very kind to you.
I appreciate your kindness. I have been, I truly appreciate it. And any acts of violence towards me would not be appreciated. So I very much appreciate this.
I was just more like being verbally kind. This, I like the sweetness of a lot of iced tea.
I wonder if they have sugar here. I shall go see.
Yeah, or some sort of sweetener. Maybe the yellow one.
So, and by the way, every time she does this, which I know there will be very limited chance now, but if this is done in future, every single time, she will take a ratio for time, amount of water, amount of sweetener every time.
Oh goodness.
The perfect cup and temperature of tea.
I love this. Oh goodness. You are not like my other siblings.
That would make sense because genealogically, and I do believe on a more molecular biological system, we are probably very different.
Yes, I was just saying you're much kinder to me than my other siblings. Outwardly kind. My siblings are kind, but just not in the way that you show affection.
I've never been told this. And like, no.
Even Rim, who's very kind, still like makes fun of me. Pom pom, juice water.
This is a greater healing potion.
Yes.
Single is a single, yeah. Or maybe it's superior. What's bigger, superior or greater? But it's three of them in one. 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful. I loved all of this. I'm gonna go to bed because I did not get good sleep last night because I was on duty last night.
Night, Al. See you tomorrow.
Good night, Ellie.
Stay cool and be sure to hydrate.
I have an app that tells me how good I am at hydrating, and I have hit my mark, so I'm good.
Excellent. Love hearing that.
Right
Love
on.
you all.
Be safe. Make good choices. Stay away from sick people.
Yeah.
If you see somebody in a Trump hat, hit them with a stick.
Yeah.
I prefer to live, but I do carry around knife and pepper spray, so maybe I will hit them with a stick.
If you see someone with a Trump hat, there is a large possibility, and we'll decide if this is Lisa or a character, that they have not been vaccinated and they are probably not wearing a mask. So I would not suggest getting near them in any case.
Long stick is what I'm hearing.
6 foot.
Boomstick.
Social distancing.
How tall is a quarterstaff? Yeah. Social distancing.
Shanna wanted to get like hula hoops and pool noodles and make a 6-foot circle that was just, dangling.
Oh, she could like put suspenders.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be
Yeah.
about that life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Bye.
Like when you get in line, like push it to your back and or 6. It would be
Like I've said, I mean, the pandemic, it's been awful. Really, it's been awful. It's been terrible. But having a good reason to keep people the fuck away from me is just, it makes me feel good. Because, you'll be at Costco and you'll be in line at Costco and there's some jackhole behind you who's pretty sure trying to invade your, backspace with a buggy because they think being 6 inches closer is somehow or the other going to make them get out of the store quicker. And I just like to be like, 6 feet, buddy, 6 feet. That's further. That's longer than your cart. Somebody need to put
You
3
could just
feet.
cough.
Yeah, good. There was a friend of mine in college that had a shirt that said, "I think I might have AIDS." This is in the early 90s. People were, yeah, we didn't, in hindsight, that was a really awful fucking thing. At the time, it was really funny because people tended to get away from him. They would, and that was kind of where he was at. So I have been making maps and pages in Roll20 because I was able to track down the map kit. So the module itself, when you buy it, has some super cool maps, right? Like they're really good. It has tokens for everything. It's really cool. And then you start looking through some of the stuff and you're like, there's not a map for that. There's not a map for that. There's not a map for this or that. And then, one Google search later and it's called Maps of the Frost Maiden bundle on DM's Guild. And I'm like, into cart.
Yeah. So
And
Joe, I have a question for you.
Lay it on me, sir.
So I have a pretty good backstory for why my Fallon character would want to be there.
Uh-huh.
Just to give us some context and history about what's going on in the world, why would a first level wizard elect to choose to travel there unless he's on the run from somewhere else? Which I don't particularly want that. I don't want to call it a cliche, but that cliche backstory. Huh?
I mean, keep in mind, this is about 5 years after the fall of Tiamat.
Yep.
You depending on how long you want to be there. I mean, how long are you thinking you've been there?
I would say my character could be there for as little as like the day, like he's just pulled in, to a while because he went there for a reason and he's gotten there and now he's trying to figure out what to do next. But
I mean,
like the things that pop into my brain are, and this is once again maybe a different version of a cliche, is I'm studying in a not a wizard school, but studying somewhere, and I come across what looks to me like, hey, when the dragon falls and the sun doesn't shine in the north, then this thing will happen, and I'm interested in that thing, so I will go there. Except that thing's got to be something that I'm interested in, like, and great magic will be revealed or something. Not and great heartache will happen. Like, screw that, I'm not going there. But like, is there some reason?
Do you have an association with any magical group, like an arcane, like the Arcane Brotherhood? Do you know who they are? Have you ever heard of them?
I'm assuming I would have heard of most of the major ones. I was looking for one of the kind of smaller ones in a city where I've been learning, not necessarily like I don't want to be from Thay. I don't want to be part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants or something like that,
The evil League of Evil?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not looking for the evil League of Evil. It doesn't have to be anything, super. Yeah. I mean, I love those guys, don't get me wrong.
Right. Yeah.
No, there's a couple of other smaller ones.
I will stop.
I saw earlier. Hang on. There was one I saw called the Watchful Order of Mages and Protectors, and it's just a loosely organized group of mages that basically train up to be protector type people.
Are you TBD in Roll20?
Yeah.
Okay. Stand by.
Wait. Make sure I'm not lying to you. Yeah, I'm TBD. I'm definitely TBD. To be determined.
Right. Okay. What did you call it? The Watchful.
It is the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors. is just one of the many orders that show up in Faerun. And having multiple tabs is cool, but when you can't find the one you're looking for. Yay. My Google Fiber bill has dropped down to what it's supposed to be after the prorated half month and then month. So cool.
Check your whispers.
All right. Let's go find that tab. There's that tab. Perfect. That will work if that's the character. If that's the character I forgot. So I'm going to write a little bit more involved backstory. I'll shoot you some emails or whatever. I'll probably send you a Facebook to say go check email, so you don't have to try to read it in that crappy interface.
It's all good. Honestly, if you send it in Facebook, I have the Messenger desktop app.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then that's
so,
yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and really all I'm going to do is copy it out of there and paste it somewhere else. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's fine. That's fine.
Sweet.
But that would be a
That's
reason
enough.
for you?
That works.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Because it's like, oh, hey, you're first level. You're as squishy as it can get. You want to go somewhere to die? Sure. You know, there's got to be some motivation.
Well, it's kind of one of those things of, look, it's a long shot and it's a rumor and it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's probably, I mean, really and truly, let me, here you go.
Where is he?
Another whisper for you.
Cool.
That could be
on brand.
Right. That could be one of those things where it's like, that could either be reality.
Yeah.
Or that could just be how you took it. Laura, I can feel your eyes like wiggling as you're reading. What's going on?
I'm doing my lore. I'm writing you a document.
That's what I'm
Telling you a
hoping to get done. Yeah, this weekend.
Right on. I mean, we don't have to do it. It is getting on
Yeah.
into the wee hours, and I
telling
actually
you
have
a little bit about my family and such. If
Right
there's
on.
anything,
So there are some things. In fact, I want to say. Yes. I do have a thing that I need to ask you.
okay.
You put that whisper before I lose it in a document I can find tomorrow when I'm awake. Joe, that hey in Facebook was just get your attention. I was gonna ask that question in text, but just we came to a natural point for me to ask you verbally.
Perfect. All righty. So now the one person with the most blank space around their name. It's Owen.
So another question after you. I don't know how this will necessarily work in your game, so I kind of want to make sure I see these questions early. There are rules in Xanathars for scribing scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
And it is relatively painless. It's a little costly. It takes a bit of time, and it takes equipment. And I think part of the, God, and I just had it open now, I can't find it, but it doesn't really matter. I don't need it for right now. You know, it's like 25 gold pieces for a first level spell, plus like 8 hours for per level of spell. So it would take you a day and 25 gold to sit down and write a.
Because you would need fancy paper and special inks.
Yeah.
You know, like Caleb.
Exactly,
Right.
like Caleb. And they're actual, and if you're thinking, oh, I'm a first level mage, I don't want to, and I can only prepare so much, but with a little bit of time and availability, I can make my scrolls. Here's my issue. In Jay's campaign, we were years into a place before I got to somewhere I could find paper.
You could have some with you.
I have some with me, but I don't even have 25 gold to my name to own the equipment. So if there is a way for me at some point to find stuff that may work, I would love that as a seed, especially if we go from town to town. I might be able to find some stuff or find the materials to make my own inks out of the raw materials kind of thing.
So if you want to spend some time looking around Bryn Shander, you have at least a chance of coming across someone who might have such things, but because of where they are and the environment and truthfully the clientele, it's probably not going to be cheap. And it would be rare
believe everything's like 50% more expensive or something like that.
Right.
That's why I'm thinking if it's it depends on how mechanical you want to get into it. With our artificer here, I'm kind of actually cautiously optimistic. If I can't find the 25 gold pieces worth of ink, maybe I can find the materials that would go into it and fabricate my own ink. But instead of it being easy and just buying ink, I had to buy materials and work with somebody to fabricate the ink or something like that. Something that we can work into the narrative of the gameplay and it fit into where we are. So those are just the seeds I'm planting now. Yeah.
It's good. Cool.
All right. I think I sent it to you in the chat. It's like page 133 of Xanathars if you want to review, but obviously that we're not in any hurry. That's not going to be session 1, minute 1 or anything like that. And I think with that, I'm going to bid everybody good night. I'm getting Miranda the rest of her stuff and get her into bed. And I bid everybody a happy and healthy and safe long weekend. If you have a long weekend.
Indeed. Enjoy the long weekends.
Cool.
Indeed.
Y'all have family coming in, right?
We got a sister, Laura's sister and her brother-in-law are going to come in just because we haven't seen them for a while. I think they're going to come in Saturday and leave on Sunday. But,
right on.
Yeah.
Right on. That's good.
They're really funny. That's why Allie was like, so when are they coming? And we're just like, we're just lucky we got any notice at all.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's like, hey, let us know you're heading down. Okay. God, they haven't said anything. Hey, when are y'all going to leave? Oh, we're in Georgetown. Okay, cool. We'll see you in 30. Cool.
Good.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Does anyone have any of the core books in? I might just have to ask Jay because I think he has everything.
Yeah,
they should be in D&D Beyond. You should have access to all the books.
What's your question though?
Right.
Which core book are you looking for?
The one that has all the descriptions of exactly what's in Smith tools and everything they can do, and the same with Tinker's tools and Thieves tools. Like I want like full fucking descriptions.
I don't know that it gets that descriptive.
They hear, and I forget which book it is, that it does. Like I know on the cobbler tools, I heard in one thing I listened to that it gets incredibly descriptive. So I was hoping that
Huh. So in D&D Beyond, if you go to equipment, I just picked Tinker's tools. It's literally 2 sentences, maybe 3.
Yeah.
These tools include items to pursue a craft or trade. Each type of artisan tools requires separate proficiency. It's, let's see. So which one are you looking for? Smith, you said?
So, well, because I have all 3, because that's my, like, if you ever see me dragging anything and you're just like, just let it go, I'm like, no, it weighs as much as I do, but I must have it.
The Smith's tools description in D&D Beyond is, again, proficiency with a set of artisan tools lets you add your proficiency bonus. There's like no description of what's in it. It's like, this lets you do Smith stuff and you have to be proficient. Tinker's tools, these lets you do Tinker stuff and you have to be proficient in it. If you've seen a better description, I'm wondering if it's kind of like what somebody wrote out so there could be something descriptive.
Yeah, it's in a book, and I'll have to, because it's when it comes to artificers, what they can do with the toolkit, it's incredibly detailed, and the book starts with an A, and I can't remember what it's called, but I can look it up. I can research it. But it's
A.
Carlisle will probably know.
Well, I'm trying to think of which D&D core rulebook starts with an A. There's Xanathar's, Player's Handbook, Mordenkainen, Tasha. In what book does the artificer show up? Is that Tasha's?
Wait. No, Princess of the Apocalypse. What is it? The Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide?
Yeah, Skag. Is that where artificers show up?
hold on, finding the thing. Does it show me which one that I've seen like a bazillion times? It's this one. Yeah, it is David Chappie. Hold on. Sorry, Eberron.
Oh.
E.
Who has Eberron? I know Owen has the Eberron guide because I think Laura Alley got it for him for his birthday or Christmas one year.
I mean, if you look in D&D Beyond /classes/artificier, it has artificers of many worlds. It's like the player's handbook would be. Class features, equipment, magical tinkering, spellcasting.
So Joe, I said it's like 25 gold pieces a level. I was close. It's 25 gold pieces for first level. It's 250 gold pieces for second level. It's 500 gold pieces for third level. It is not a linear, it is a logarithmic scale. So I won't be writing anything above a cantrip or a first level spell at all, if anything, for a while.
Well, you would never write a cantrip anyways, so.
Well, I mean, you might want a cantrip so if you could prepare a different cantrip and have it ready. I don't know which cantrip you might want, but you might write a light cantrip so you can prepare all weapon ones.
I mean, I'm going to be going with the Tasha's Guide of Everything, where you can change your cantrips every morning.
Yeah.
Because that makes a lot of sense to me. Cantrips are something. Cantrips are by their nature
Minor
something.
magic.
Yeah, they're just minor magic.
I almost feel like there needs to be something between cantrip and first level, because in my mind, really, a cantrip shouldn't be able to do direct physical damage. It should be truly a minor magic that you can just do.
So the reason why cantrips can do damage is because 5th edition adventures are built around the idea of spellcasters being able to contribute in adventuring even if they're out of spells.
Yeah.
So
And
that,
I love it, but that's why I was like, there almost needs to be something in between or whatnot. Like maybe there's a minor cantrip that you can just do anytime. Well, yeah, I don't need to get in this philosophical discussion. Your reasoning is exactly right. That is a design tenet to the game on fifth edition.
I mean, fifth edition has required me to rethink a lot of things about D&D. So, you know.
Well, I love a lot of it, but a lot of it just makes me think like this is designed to make people who played video games, and you wouldn't play a character in a video game that could only do something once and then nothing else.
Well,
Enjoy it.
Absolutely. It is a tabletop version of an MMO.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. As we've been talking about some of our homespun rules, there are things I would change, but as a foundational system, I think they've done an amazing job. All right, I am going to actually leave now. Thank you all very much. Have a lovely
Alrighty.
I was gonna say
Oh.
I found some. So like what I was talking about is specifically for tinkerer's tools. A set of tinkering tools is designed to enable you to repair mundane objects. Though you can manufacture much with a tinkerer's tool, you can mend torn clothes, sharpen worn sword, tattered suit, and chainmail. It tells you what the components are, and this is what I was speaking of. History. You can determine the age and origin of objects, even if you have only a few pieces remaining from the original. Investigation. When you inspect a damaged object, you can gain knowledge of how it was damaged and how long ago.
So if you have history as a proficiency or investigation, you can use your tinker's tools and get that information from it.
Yeah, like that's when you're proficient in it. Like that's what you can do. So say
Where are you finding this?
It's from Eberron.
Okay.
And I'll send you them because like this thing has a lot. That's the short version, but that's kind of what sold me on Artificer is even at a first level, especially with the way my character is, she would totally stare at something and be like, yes, so this sword to be dented in this way, like essentially a forensic mechanic.
Cool.
So Tinker's Tools, these special tools include the items needed to pursue a craft or trade. Proficiency with a set of tools lets you add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks you make using the tools in your craft. Each type of artisan's tools requires a separate proficiency.
Yeah, that's the basic D&D Beyond thing. Whatever she's sending you is either an Eberron's written expanded rule or whatnot, because yeah, I found that earlier. Smith's tools the same, jeweler's tools, thieves tools, it's basically the same descriptor for a specific proficiency.
Yeah, but like that is one of the things in Eberron. And of course, Joe, we can get with you to make sure that these rules go with you. But that's I thought that was really, really cool because it makes it definitely more engaging than well, I have a tinkerer tool, I should have a screwdriver to do this thing, right? Like it actually makes it a game component.
Yep.
I'm looking at Eberron Rising from the Last War. Is that the one you're looking at?
No, there's an Eberron. It's kind of like the Critical Role, whatever guide to Wild Mount. Yeah.
I think that's what this is. It's under sources. It's the only Eberron source book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eberron Rising from the Last War?
I do believe so, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The writer of the Eberron stuff is friends with me on Facebook.
Oh, hey, there's one for a GM binder and one for a PDF download. I will see if I can do this for you safely because I am always ready.
Is this okay? Are you on D&D Beyond? Or are you in the DM's Guild?
I right now I'm on Dubstat Adventures, but they are referencing Eberron, and I've heard other people reference Eberron for this exact thing. I just wanted to find the source book.
Right on.
Beyond, like because I know it's not searchable. You have to have it, just like if you want anything beyond the main, you have to have all the books, which is why we build everything in Jay's campaign because he has everything.
Yep.
Well, I have a DM level subscription, but I don't have any of the books in it because all of the stuff that I bought digital format is in Roll20.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I've kind of decided to use Roll20 for the virtual tabletop stuff and D&D Beyond for everything else. So yep. So all right, Don, get out of here. Go to bed.
Night night. Bye, everybody.
Take
Night,
care of
guys.
the best Koenig. All righty. And then there was just one. Miss Laura,
Yes.
how would you say the different, okay, number one, how would you say your goddess's name is pronounced? Shekinister?
Kinister sounds right.
Shekinister?
I
She
basically
Kinistar. No,
She Kinister.
Shekinister.
Basically, last night I went through all the. I figured that if I were looking for knowledge or looking for things, I could either probably be a life cleric or a knowledge cleric, but more likely a knowledge cleric. So I went through all the gods in a Faerun that are in Forgotten Realms that were listed under knowledge, and I came across this goddess, and I was like, "Hell's yeah!"
Right?
She is, and then I saw that she had a soft spot in her heart for almost extinct species.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yes, that's what we'll say. And Don has been helping, and he was like, well, she has some human clerics, and I was like, great. She's not going to be unknown. It's not really her part of the world, but my thought is that she has decided that the changelings are a scattered enough band around the world that she could take them on as one of her folks. The changelings are not entirely sure of whether they were intentionally created, they were an accident, or they're an aberration. But she has given them purpose in terms of doing that. So I'm going to look at her kind of different faces. She also has different alignments for the different faces she has.
Mm-hmm. I was checking that out.
I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect for a changeling who's trying to try.
Is there
different things.
any one aspect you think Siston would be more drawn to?
I'm going to look at them a little bit more carefully. That's about all the time my research had. I would imagine it's going to be Seeker, but I don't want to change the write-up on the god too much. The Seeker part was associated at first more evilly, and I want to make sure that it makes sense.
As
So
as the seeker, she drove the ideals of exploration and learning. This
Mhm.
form was both chaotic and good.
Yeah.
So I was thinking either the seeker or the empowerer, specifically the empowerer. Wow, that's the empowerer maiden or the preserver mother. But I shall leave what aspect you are most drawn to up to you.
So interestingly enough, if you read more, Seeker was she was originally a three aspected goddess, and then she swallowed somebody and became a 5 aspected goddess, which I also think is somewhat cool.
The 3-faced queen and the 5-faced queen. I like it.
Yeah. But I like the idea, like she swallowed a guy and then took on some of his aspects, totally on brand with the changeling of learning.
Mm-hmm,
And so And so I think seeker is probably what I'm going towards a little bit more. But knowing that as a seeker, I would be seeking and trying to think of things in terms of the 5 different things I see before me as who we worship. So we may be more drawn to the seeker. I might be more drawn to the seeker, but I understand that she is all 5 things. And so I will probably try things out with the idea of those archetypes. So if
Okay.
I am trying on a persona, I'm not going to just go flat out and say I want to deeply understand that persona. I'm going to understand that persona as it ties to one of the archetypes of my goddess.
Whichever aspect you feel most drawn to, let me know how she appears in your mind, how you envision her, and just let me know. I am going to have to go. Oh boy, I've got to go.
Okay. Well,
So
you go.
indeed, y'all have a fantastic weekend.
You too.
As one of the YouTube people that Shanna has introduced me to. What is it? Bailey Sarian? Yeah. Bailey Sarian. Every Monday she does murder, mystery, and makeup Mondays.
Oh, cool.
So she tells a true crime story while she puts on makeup, and she's just, her delivery is just great. But at the end of her thing, she tells everyone, she talks about people getting involved with like serial killers, and she's like, get better idols. But she also says, make good choices, which I think is a good way to say, see you later.
All
Make good
right.
choices, stay
Make
safe.
good choice. Thanks.
Indeed.
Bye-bye.
And we'll be ready to do the rock and the roll next Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Bye-bye.
Bye.